Okay, we are live on YouTube.
Hello everyone, welcome to this live stream. We're waiting for 3 more minutes before we start the Q&A, but we're super happy that you're here with us tonight.
We are about to start. In 2 minutes, we're going to start. En 2 minutos vamos a empezar.
Well, good evening, everyone. We're super happy to have you here in this live Q&A. First of all, I'm super happy to have kicked off Terra Madre in this amazing way. In the coming 40 minutes, we will have a live Q&A with the communities you've been seeing in the movie, with the filmmakers, the protagonists, and you're able to ask your questions. In the meanwhile, we do have a few small house rules in order to make sure that this big Zoom call is not going to become a big mess. So please mute yourself if you're not speaking. In the case that you have a question, please write something in the chat so we can give you the word as soon as there's time for that. And last of all, I would like to mention that to support the communities that we've seen in the movie, we have set up a fundraiser, which if you feel like and you want to support, we will give a link at the end of this Q&A to this. Maybe it's good to check with everyone if everyone in the in this session speaks English. Otherwise, we will write translations in the chat in Spanish. I hope that is clear. And then from there, I would like to give the word first to Agostino, because we followed you in this beautiful movie. And of course, we're stuck with one question right now, and that is how is Xilela developing right now? Can you tell us briefly what the current situation is?
Hi everyone, and thank you so much for organizing this online screening. It means a lot for us, to be here tonight and share this with you for the first time. And it was very emotional in a way to to watch this all together. And yeah, right now Xylella, the bacteria, is still advancing north in Puglia, and is still killing lots of trees because of some political inactivity in our region, because of misunderstanding, because of conspiracy theories happening in our land, and there is a lot of misunderstanding. So the disease keeps on spreading, and it is now about 60 kilometers from our own olive trees, and so we are very, very scared about it. But there is a strong pool of scientists and agronomists that are trying to find some resistant varieties of olive trees that can stand the bacteria. They are trying to control it from spreading, and that are trying to save the oldest one with the technique of grafting, the one that we talked about in the documentary. So yeah, the situation is not very nice, but there are lots of people still trying to work toward trying to solve the situation.
I'm very happy that it's of course still not over yet, but that plenty of things are being done to solve it. Me, myself, and Valentina passed through Puglia last year for an event that we organized there, and it's really devastating to see what the current situation is. So also for that reason, I'm very happy that that this movie gives some insight in how we can actually turn these kinds of disasters, turn them around. And another question for you: how is your hair doing?
My hair, well, okay. Right now, I'll show it to you. It's okay. I still have half of it left, and I have to say thank you to SFYN, because I went back to Mexico after almost 2 years of struggling with this disease, and I went back to meet SFYN and his mom, and they gave me some herbs that they harvest in the forest, and that they use to try cure this disease. So there are a lot of people that live in the Mayan area that get bitten by this mosquito, and they quickly react to it using these plants. They cover it with plants. So I went to visit SFYN this last January, and her mom prepared me these herbs, and the acute part of the disease is gone, but it was still coming back every couple of months. But since I started using these herbs, it has not come back anymore. So it was really a very long trip, and I went back to meet SFYN, and right now it's okay. So finger crossed.
Fingers crossed, indeed. I'm happy to hear that it's getting better. I'd like to ask Sava a question as well. We've seen you in the movie, and you mentioned in the beginning that it's like how did you call it again? Like your own way of discovering nature. Now of course I lost the name of the adventure. But anyway, what can you tell something how you did develop since filming this movie?
Hey, Jorrit. Yeah, thanks for the question. And I think that, and I will speak for myself, but I think for Agua as well, we both went into this without a lot of experience, and maybe with some naivety of what's going on in the world, and with a lot of curiosity as well of what are different perspectives we can learn. And I think for me, it's still watching the movie 100 times and watching it all over, I always get emotional, especially on the educational side. I think for me, how it transformed me is think a lot about what we do as youth in the world, and how we can this quote that says, the quickest way we give up our power is by believing we don't have any. And I think what we saw with farmers in Puglia, what we saw with a lot of people, is that the challenges that we face around the world, or even in one community, they can be so overwhelming that we don't know what to do with it, and it paralyzes us. So for me to be exposed to people that even in the worst of situations still come together and act, even that we don't know for sure whether the outcome will have an impact or not, and then see something spark, like the school in Colombia, from 30 children in the kitchen, in 7 years it turned into a school of 700 children when we left, and I think now there's 1,000 children there right now that get education. For me, it's something that just goes into my heart, and I think, to devote myself more to that, get more people into impact-driven careers, get more people to connect with certain kind of issues in their communities, worldwide communities, and think about what we can do. And I really feel that the only way to do so is by doing it together. So for me, the film is a lot about that, about finding people that care, finding people that take action, and helping. It inspires me to do more, and I hope it helps other people to, like Stefano said in the beginning, to give hope and add it with action. So that's it from my side.
That's so good. Thank you for sharing this perspective. I think everyone is also super curious about the communities that we've met in this movie. And first, I would like to ask Rita a question, who's there with a huge representation, which is amazing to see. Rita, what did you experience watching this movie, and what's the biggest lesson for you?
Sí, pregunta para Rita. Hola, Rita. ¿Cuál es tu experiencia con haciendo el documental? Hola, ¿me escuchas bien? ¿Me escuchas?
Señorita.
¿Sí?
Señora.
Ok, perfecto. Entonces, ¿nos podrías decir algo de tu experiencia, de tu lado, ¿no? Para hacer el documental, cómo lo viviste y también qué pasó, ¿no? Cuando hiciste el documental.
Bueno, yo me sentí bastante identificada con los muchachos porque llegaron de pronto a abrir o encender una luz de donde uno entendió que tenía que empoderarse con los líderes de nuestras comunidades para trabajar en encontrar nuestras soluciones a nuestras problemáticas. De pronto estábamos atascados ahí pensando en la sequía, pero al llegar los muchachos a nuestras comunidades, nos inspiraron a empoderarnos, a trabajar en herramientas, en estrategias, en empoderarnos de nuestros conocimientos, de nuestros ancestros. Y eso nos llevó a que hoy en día en la comunidad podemos producir nuestro alimento, nuestros sustentos y a nuestras comunidades. Entonces, si nosotros respetamos a nuestra madre tierra, mantenemos el equilibrio, la madre tierra nos protege, nos alberga, nos sustenta, pero siempre manteniendo ese respeto hacia ella. Porque si no nos unimos a proteger, a todo eso nos estamos destruyendo. Entonces, yo me siento de pronto inspirada, motivada a seguir empoderando estos conocimientos ancestrales a nuestros niños, porque ellos son los que van a quedar cuando nosotros no podemos estar. Entonces tenemos que respetar para que de pronto el cambio climático no nos afecte, sino que mejoremos todos estos malos comportamientos que hemos tenido como individuos para cambiar la mentalidad de nuestra sociedad, de nuestro entorno, todo eso. Entonces, en vista de todo esto, es lo que nos enseñaron, de que tenemos que unirnos entre todos para mantener ese conocimiento de nuestros ancestros y saber vivir con nuestra madre tierra. Es lo que siento y es lo que ellos me inspiraron bastante.
Muchísimas gracias, Rita. Ahora lo voy a traducir en inglés. So I'm going to translate in English what Rita just said. So they were very enlightened, like from the arrival of these guys to their community, and especially from the fact that they were putting so much value on the traditional knowledge that they have as a community. So they really felt empowered, and they realized that they had to appreciate what they have and the way that they produce food, and they respect Mother Earth, for example, and they really have to protect what they have. And they really want to rescue the ancestral knowledge and transmit it to their children. So in this sense, education is fundamental to pass over this traditional knowledge. And yeah, they have to learn how to respect Mother Earth so that climate change doesn't affect us. And we have to get all together united in order to rescue all this traditional knowledge, and together we can really be empowered and make a change.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Rita. Gael, I also have a question for you and Efra, because we've seen wonderful wonderful bees in the movie, and yeah, an amazing journey that you're going through. Can you maybe share with us what also for you, what has happened with since filming the movie, and also what's laying ahead? What are you going to do further?
Well, we can reply both, maybe English and Spanish, and we translate. And well, the documentary was amazing to film it, because we already had a friendship, and this, well, Memoria Nueva was an inspiration, no, for both to keep on going, no, that we were not alone. And since we record the documentary till now, we keep on rescuing more bees, and yeah, trying to keep on the awareness, no, on the importance of these bees. Y bueno, no sé si quieres añadir algo como
de la pregunta que nos
hacen. Sí, ¿qué más hemos hecho desde que grabamos hasta ahora? Sí.
De lo que pasó en la película, nos ha pasado de
todo.
De todo. Hay cosas positivas como negativas. Una de las cosas positivas que tenemos es que seguimos trabajando en lo mismo, en los rescates, en cuidar y en enseñar. Y ahora tenemos otra de aprender de lo tradicional para seguir formándonos como meliponicultores, pero formándonos bien, lo más pegado a nuestra cultura, que viene siendo la maya, para hacerlo bien, y no como muchos otros lo hacen, solo aprender para obtener otra cosa que no sea el cuidado de las abejas.
Yeah, but basically we've been like attached to the authentic or the originally Mayan information and culture that we can still rescue. Now we have it's already 4 years, so we pass from the boxes that everybody's using right now in the Yucatan Peninsula, that we find out that was not the right way to, and we went into putting the beehives in jobones, in the really authentic and traditional way, for example, and which is a horizontal piece of wood, and connected with the moon, and trying to do it as authentic and as real as we can get, no? And the objective is to continue making other bee hospitals. Now we're gonna make another bee hospital in Tulum, and we want to continue with the derivatives of the honey. What else what can we do with the honey, and create like an ecotourism, a way for approaching the society, not only staying on the natural way, but also introducing it to the society, which is really important. And we have host like little talks or little tastings of honey, to create like different experience, even for locals and for tourists. And yeah, we want to enhance and put it in the daily life of humans, no? Otherwise we, yeah, no, más o menos.
Sí, se ve. Se ve.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That sounds lovely. I see that there's already a question in the chat box. We will get back to that later in like real quick. But before we get there, I would like to ask Stefano a question. The director who also spoke with me before the movie started. Stefano, we've been on the phone like the whole week with speaking things through, and we've been trying to make tonight happen. But you also told me something special, because you've been watching everyone in a movie for 3 years straight. You've been working with them behind your computer day in, day out, and this is the first time that everyone meets each other, right? And how does it feel? How do you like it to see everyone interact with each other right now?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, for me, it's an incredible experience because, you know, in part of me never left them. I've been with them, all of them, for all these years, and it's like, you know, Gael, Efrain, Rita, and all of them. It's like I've been in their home for the past 4 years. I never, and it's like, even now I see them. It's incredible now that they're finally, you know, in the same room in a way. And I hope maybe in the future, you know, I was speaking to Jorit, when Terra Madre will happen for real, maybe we can bring them actually together in a real place. And it's for me it's a very strong emotion, you know, and I'm very pleased. I'm very thankful for this. Plus now there are people from all over the world watching, you know, on this film. I know today there were people from Australia to the States to Europe, and it's also a different experience. So it's quite emotional, and I hope, you know, that, you know, this movie can bring a little bit to everyone and inspire to live better, maybe. Who knows? So thank you, Jory.
That sounds great. I think it's time to have the Q&A from the crowd also going. And I've seen that Anna already mentioned a question. Anna, would you like to ask it yourself? You can unmute yourself, maybe turn on your camera if you'd like, and ask the question.
Hi, everyone. I don't know if you're watching.
Now we are. Hello.
Hi.
Can you tell, before you start and ask a question, can you tell who you are and where you are from?
Okay, so I'm from Brazil. Right now, I'm in Bournemouth. I'm in the other room. Stefan is in the living room. I'm in the bedroom.
Don't say it.
It's just like he didn't want me to show in the video. I'm like sneaking in the video from here. I just wanted to ask Gael and Efrain if they have any outside financial support to do this project of saving bees, besides their own time that they spend on it.
That's a great question. Thank you so much. Can you guys answer to that?
¿Quieres responder yo? ¿Tú?
¿Puedes decirlo?
Well, basically, we take this job like a hobby. The objective of this is to give value to the bees, social value, economic value, and cultural value to these bees. And we're a bit struggling because both of us, we have our own jobs and our own like working life, and but the bees are our passion, no? So we keep on the rescues, and sometimes we have to do the extra hours and apart, and it becomes like a hobby that we prefer than our job, no? So the idea is to make at least Efrain to make full time for this bee hospital job. Now that we try to keep on doing, creating knowledge and making a little book and to for the people to understand more about the bees and infographic about the bees and yeah, it's just our hobby, but we want to make it our job, our daily job.
And what would you need in order to achieve that?
¿Qué necesitamos para alcanzar este objetivo?
¿Qué necesitamos?
Sí.
Trabajar así enteramente con ellas.
Sí.
¿Le puedo explicar cómo empecé?
Sí,
lo de empezar, de cuidar las abejas es mi línea que yo sigo, es conocimiento que me heredan mis abuelos, mis bisabuelos. Cuidar las abejas es parte de mi vida. Y ya en Playa del Carmen, cuando hacer los rescates, los primeros fueron fáciles y todo salía, el dinero salía de mi bolsa. Y ya después, cuando fueron muchos rescates, ya no se puede, necesitas más ayudas. Cuando conocí a Gael también y juntos hicimos un equipo y empezamos. Pero ahora ya es un trabajo más amplio, más grande que podemos hacer, pero necesitamos estar entregados así, trabajar completamente para cuidar las abejas, hacer los rescates y después reintroducirlos. Entonces, con eso se necesita un fondo, de ahorro o dinero, como se pueda llamar, para trabajar así completamente con ellas y estar que ellas estén bien, ¿no? Que estén bien las abejas, sí, más o menos.
Sí. Valentina or yeah.
Sí, no, pues in the beginning, so it was like a small thing, let's say, and Efren was just using like his own money and also like little time, but now it's growing like bigger and bigger. So to dedicate like full time to it, it would really need a budget, no, a salary to work on that.
Okay, I don't know if Anna, this answer to your question. Now, basically, we're trying to figure out how to make it rentable. Now, I've been like, for example, gathering Airbnb experiences now for one side and bringing it to the bee hospital and making a little breakfast with the bees and tastings, you know, and this was like a way to connect, not like his lifestyle, because it's more like a lifestyle. It's always the conflict of it's not for the money, it's for the passion, but we also need the money in this social world, no? So it's we're trying to blend the two in a natural way, not in a smooth way. So of course, I don't want to bring like buses of tourism and not to the little hospital, no, to the big hospital. But I've been bringing some, little guests and maximum 5 guests at a time, and trying not to be gentle with the bees, no, because we don't want to open them and make an industrial factory of tourism. So yeah, we're trying like that, and we want to go into a lot of information, no? Infographic and a little manual of. SFYN had this great idea of making like when they sell a car and they show you all the parts of the car and how it works, and they're do the same for the bees, no? With some good photographers, good designers, make like the taxonomy of the bees and how they work, how much they produce, which flowers they prefer, you know, like information for the people to know that they exist, you know, and value it. That's it.
Really nice, thank you.
Okay,
and I also got a question from David McKenzie, but he has a very, very bad connection, so he asked me if I can read it for him. So the question is, were there any initial problems or discomforts gaining access access and trust when first meeting and filming these communities, and how did you approach this? Entonces la pregunta de David es ¿cuál fueron los, bueno, si habían problemas iniciales o algunas dificultades para conectarse con la comunidad y para filmarlas, y cómo resolvieron estos problemas?
Can I answer this? I think so I'm laughing because when we arrived in, well, you know, like as you saw, the first community, the Kalunga, was the most intense. And you know, I'm the younger guy of the group. You know, like we have Sava, we have Agostino. They got 3 years older than me. They're 3 years older than me, and I was just making the most uncomfortable question, and like I wanted to film basically everything, and they were like trying to like explain, no, Stefano, we need to wait, we need to slow down, and you know, because I was in the mode, okay, I need to make a documentary. But at the end, you know, like I think after the first period, when we entered into the mode and into the flow to kind of being open to what happened. So we weren't like really planning anymore. We got into a point where we were just flowing with like, we were like in a river. We were just standing in a river, like sitting in a river, and it was taking us through this journey. And we were just filming what was happening. So, and then we arrived in Mexico, where as soon as we arrived, you know, Efrain, Gael, and also this other community, they were showing to us, they will tell us what to film. And also we went to see Rita and Joanna and all these beautiful kids behind. And they showed us everything and they were excited. So I think also the film was a journey itself, you know, like to arrive to the end. So.
Ok, traducción corta. Bueno, gracias, Stefano. Bueno, Stefano dice que pues él era el más joven del grupo y estaba súper emocionado, ¿no?, para hacer este documental. Y al principio, cuando llegaron en Brasil, todo era como, ¿no?, al inicio todo planeado y era un poco así, pero ya cuando pasó un año se acostumbraron más a las cosas y ya dejaban que las cosas pasaban sin planear mucho, ¿no? Y se sintieron bienvenidos de las comunidades y sea en México, en Colombia, abrieron sus puertas a ellos y querían compartir todos, ¿no?, con ellos. Entonces la experiencia fue muy, muy positiva.
Thank you for translating, Valentina. Are there any other questions? And if you don't feel like...
I have a question.
See, okay.
So, hi everybody. I want to say hi to Stefano, Agostino, also Sava. My name is Costanza and I'm from Puglia, so it's the same region of Agostino and Stefano. And for this reason, I want to ask you a question to the Petronis brother. So at the moment, I find myself in Puglia, and there is like a conversation going on about what should we do with our land, what is going on, and how we should react. And what people are saying is that we should definitely do something, we should replant. But what I hear a lot of people talking about is not to have a monoculture anymore, but to plant different type of things and to enhance our biodiversity that maybe it was a little bit reduced with this monoculture. Although it was really painful for us to see all these olive trees dying, but maybe it can be an opportunity for us to reburn, to give birth to something else. What do you guys think?
Well, I think that's you already basically answered by asking this question. And in the end, after these apocalypse, because I mean, what's happening in Puglia is basically an olive tree apocalypse. After, you know, everything is burned, everything is like dead, you know, there is always some space for a rebirth. So I mean, these trees were planted by the Romans, you know, 2000 years ago. You know, they're going down to Italy to conquer, you know, whatever, the Middle East, or to go to other places, and they planted those trees. And you know, 2000 years have passed. And of course, in the timeline of you know, of the life of Earth, it is just like, you know, the last few seconds of life of the Earth. So if you see in that perspective, the years that these olive trees have lived is not that long, but for our lifetime as humans, they are. So the idea of replanting, I think, is very important. And the idea of like creating like different cultures, so it's not just like one single plant that covers the whole territory, I think could be something very smart to do. Because one of the biggest risks that our region is facing is desertification, because of course all these trees were covering the ground, and they were keeping it fertile in a way. So if those trees are missing, the whole territory will suffer from it. You know, the climate will become warmer, the land will not become you know, fertile anymore. So the idea of planting is super, super important. And you know, diversifying will be also a very, very smart move, because in the end, this you know, disease is spreading so fast because, you know, there is so many olive trees. So jumping from one place to the other for this insect is very easy, and the spread is super, super easy. I mean, it's like, if you think about it, with the COVID, with the coronavirus, if we are all in the same room and somebody coughs, you know, it's way easier for everybody to get sick. If, you know, if people are not that close to get together, you know, the disease doesn't spread that much. I mean, that's, I think, a comparison. So if there is a wall, and a wall can be, you know, a different kind of variety of plant species, those kind of diseases can be less dangerous. And, you know, but it is the history of monocultures around the world. Also in Brazil, they've had a lot of problem with Xylella because there were monocultures of oranges and so on and so forth. So I guess it will be very important to find equilibrium between what we believe is our tradition and what we need to do in order to go forward, and not get stuck with the heaviness of our past in a way. So yeah. Thank you for your question.
I hope that your questions is answered now. I'm wondering if there's any more questions for our guests. And otherwise, I would really like to hear if Gael, SFYN, or Rita have maybe questions towards each other.
¿Hay otras preguntas que quieren hacer? Si no, vamos a preguntar a Gael, SFYN, Rita, si tienen preguntas entre ustedes.
Hi, Valentina. Hi, guys. Well, I have a question for Gael. I'm from Bolivia. I will speak in Spanish for Gael. So, Gael, ¿cómo les ha tratado toda esta situación de la pandemia para sus comunidades? Porque acá en Bolivia nosotros también, por ejemplo, yo vengo de las comunidades, mi abuela, cultura guaraní, ya del Chaco boliviano, y se dedican al cultivo de las abejas meliponas. Mi abuela se dedica a 2 variedades. Han tratado quizás también de ver cómo comercializarla de una manera que sabemos que las meliponas, por ejemplo, son muy buenas para los ojos, ¿no? Aquí personalmente, de vista, para cicatrizaciones, todo, unas gotas para cicatrizar es muy buena. ¿Han tratado de ver alguna de comercializar bajo estos temas que es de suma importancia para volver a tomar esa revalorización?
Valentina, do you want to translate
Yes.
first?
Yes. Okay. So the question is from Ruth, that she's from Bolivia, and she's saying that her family is from the Chaco Boliviano, where they also have native bees, and they use the bee products also as like a medicine, and like a very like few drops of the I don't know if it's like the honey or like the poison of the bee that they use. I don't know which part, but anyway, like few drops of that, it has already a very powerful healing power. And so she was asking Gael what they are doing with that from the honey, exactly from the honey. So Gael took something to show us, yeah.
Qué buena pregunta, Ruth, porque es lo que constantemente nos estamos como, bueno, buscando alternativas y viendo cómo que la gente valore, ¿no? la miel, respaldarnos de información científica. Ahorita, bueno, con Efraín estamos intentando rescatar una bebida tradicional que se llama balché, que bueno, es esta y ya llevan... Y bueno, la corteza de este árbol que se agrega con... No sé si quieres...
Esa es miel de melipona, agua sin cloro, de preferencia que sea agua de cenote o de laguna. La cáscara de una planta que se llama balché y crea una bebida, ¿cómo se dice? Fermentada, una bebida fermentada, que ayuda mucho en las defensas y ayuda mucho para prevenir lo de la enfermedad del COVID. Aparte de ingerir directamente 2-3 cucharaditas de miel de melipona al día, también a los niños, ayudarlas también, a las gentes grandes, personas de la tercera edad, deben consumir miel por las mañanas y por las tardes, al igual que polen, para ayudarlas en las defensas y que no se vayan a enfermar.
Sí, entonces estamos buscando como sí, subproductos para darle más valor, ¿no? Igual hemos visto que a través de la historia, ¿no? Las culturas buscan pues el alcohol en su consumo no excesivo, pero bueno, esta es una forma de darle valor a esa miel, ¿no? Y rescatar una bebida que ya no se consume como tal hoy en día en forma tradicional, ¿no? Entonces, sí, buscando alternativas, ¿no? La idea del manual y hacer como algo un poquito infográfico, que la gente entienda qué abejas son estas, ¿no? Que las pueda identificar. Sí, estamos buscando constantemente. Es difícil, ¿no? Poner en el mercado la miel. Hemos intentado y la gente la compara enseguida con la apis mellifera y dice, ¿por qué tan caro, no? Entonces, mejorar la parte de información, ¿no? Y respaldo, pues sí, científico, de decir, esta miel es de cierta especie y tantas propiedades, y un poquito que sea más fácil de digerir. Yo sé que el documental nos va a ayudar mucho por esa parte, como que la gente entienda, las pueda ver, ¿no? A través de su pantalla y después quizás visitarnos o valorarla más cuando vaya a comer miel, ¿no?
También le puedo decir algo.
Sí.
Le quiero también decir que comercializar así como cualquier otro producto no se puede con la miel de melipona por la cantidad tan pequeña que se produce por colonias que no se podría hacer una comercialización. Nosotros lo hacemos, pero familiar, empezar con la familia y otras familias. Así empezar de poco y ir ampliándonos así, con más abejas, más meliponarios y más medicinas más adelante. Medicinas en productos derivados de la colmena. Sí.
Y empezamos por degustación, ¿no? Antes de de comercialización, ¿no? Más...
Ya comercialización casi yo no lo digo porque no puedo, no llegaría a ese grado, nunca llegaría a ese grado de vender por todos lados, no se puede. Mucha gente lo hace, pero agota las abejas, las seca, ya después se convierte en una granja y eso no es lo que estamos buscando el bienestar de las abejas.
Thank you, Efraín and Gal, gracias, chicos, por la respuesta. Voy a traducir. I'm going to translate. Okay, so they are trying to valorize the honey also with different products. Like, for example, with this bottle that they are showing, it's a fermented beverage that they make with the honey, water without chlorine, and the bark of a plant called warche, like a native plant, and it's fermented and it helps to boost the immune system, and so they especially recommend it in this period of COVID. And also the honey itself, they give it 2 spoons for the children and for the elderly people in the morning and in the night, also to help with their immune system. And they're also trying to look for other products to valorize the honey. They also have this manual with infographics that explain what is the difference between the type of bee, the Melipona, the one that they have, which is different from the mellifera, that is the one that we have in Europe. And also this helps explaining why the price of the Melipona is higher, because also the honey that this bee produces is in a very little quantities compared to the other bee. And also they think that the documentary is going to help them a lot to increase the awareness about this type of bee, about the properties of the honey. And maybe also some people that watch the documentary will like to go and visit them. So also you guys, if you feel like go and visit them, they're opening their doors for you. For now also they are not really commercializing the honey, because it's in such small quantities that it's just enough for their family and also for like other families' consumption. But then they would like it to grow more and more, so also to have more bees, to increase the quantity of this honey and to make it available for more people. And now they are not really selling it, but they are doing tastings of the honey to explain what's the concept behind it, and all the story also linked to their tradition.
Valentina, may I add just a little thing to clarify one element? I think what Efraín actually was trying to say is that the Melipona bee produces such small quantities of honey per colony that it's not really economically viable, or if it is on the market and there's other producers that sell honey of the Melipona bee, but it's often detrimental to the colony itself. They take too much honey away for that the colony actually is not able to sustain itself with the amount of honey that is there. So for him, it is not a viable way to sell honey in a commercial way, just to protect the bees. That's his core mission. So they look for smaller ways or with minimal doses to create still products on the market. Just as a tiny correction there.
Nosotros, we have a question for Rita, if it's possible. Si está por ahí.
Absolutely.
No sé, si está.
Dice Rita.
Ahí va.
Pregunta.
¿Qué quieres preguntarte?
Es que quería preguntarle si en su región donde están hay abejas sin aguijón, y si sus alumnos quisieran aprender algo sobre el tema de las abejas, o en el plan del estudio que ustedes tengan, podría integrarse algo de ellos para que también los niños y las niñas puedan aprender sobre las abejas. ¿Podríamos ayudar en eso?
Sí, o sea, yo he visto como que he aprendido en este documental de que he visto las abejas como amenaza, pero con el documental hemos aprendido de que tenemos que brindarle protección. Entonces, eso es importante rescatarlo y enseñarlo a los niños para preservar estos animales, o sea, estos insectos y cómo nos apoyan a fortalecer esa raza. Para mí sería muy importante recibirlos acá en el establecimiento educativo como para dar esa herramienta o articularlo en las mallas curriculares, para que eso se pueda ir implementando a rescatar estos animales o que los pueda de manera virtual, no sé, hacer conexiones con los profesores y entonces recibir esas clases o orientaciones o guías para nosotros sería muy fundamental eso. ¿Por qué? Porque personalmente yo veía estos animalitos como una amenaza, algo que teníamos que de pronto desechar, destruir, pero sin tener en cuenta de pronto que estamos como que dañando el medio ambiente en que estamos viviendo. Entonces para nosotros sería muy importante eso, Efraín, Gael, recibir estas instrucciones o intercambios para que podamos llevar estos conocimientos a los niños, con nuestros ancianos del contexto, cómo podemos protegerlos. Entonces, para mí sería grato compartir eso con ustedes.
Podemos ayudar.
Súper, sí.
Okay, I'm gonna translate this beautiful thing that just happened, which I think it's amazing, and it's like really the power of Terra Madre. Basically, Efrain and Gael were asking if it would be useful for it and for the children to have like some material about how to do beekeeping with the traditional bees, no, and about like the traditional knowledge. And Rita was saying like, yes, definitely, because at the beginning, like we also have like our native bees, but we were looking at them as something dangerous. No, we were kind of afraid from them. But now, after getting to know the story of Efrain and Gael, they are really appreciating them more, and they would like to learn how to do it. So they really want to do this exchange of information together, and maybe also start beekeeping there. So super nice.
That's amazing. I also see another question coming up in the chat, which is made, I think it's targeted at Stefano. Do you think you will do another film based on some of the details of this film?
What does it mean based on the details? Can you...
Maybe Gael can explain further?
Who made the question? Like,
feel free to open the mic to explain further.
Estaba traduciéndole a Efraín de que si continuaría este documental, si se podría hacer una memoria nueva 2 o una versión de lo que de cómo va a evolucionar, ¿no? Que la memoria sigue creciendo, ¿no? Y sigue avanzando y no sé, es una pregunta más bien para ti, ¿no? Nosotros estamos motivados, pero...
A mí me encantaría, ¿no? I would love to. Entonces vamos a ver, ¿por qué no? Porque no puede ser, pero para mí sería una cosa muy buena hacer. Like, I would really love to do something like this because, you know,
Yo puedo decir que se puede, ya estoy como que están diciendo en la segunda parte, porque ya mi hijo, él cuida las abejas, ya tiene sus abejas, tiene 4 años y le gusta la miel, le gusta todo lo que hago, él lo quiere aprender, pero ahí va, en la segunda película él va a hablar, yo ya no voy a hablar, él va a salir con las abejas, yo ya no.
Bueno, why not? I mean, we can do. Podemos hacer un film que para to see how things evolve. But yeah, like for me, definitely, I would love to do it. So why not? We can leave things open.
That's an amazing perspective.
It's not gonna take 4 years. We'll take like a few months.
Wise decision. I, in the meanwhile, saw that Gael also opened his mic. Is that correct?
I'm good. Yeah.
No, scusa. There's someone else in the Zoom who's also called
Is that
Gael.
Is that me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we do hear you now.
Oh, I had the question that I think Stefano just answered about what if he would do other, but he answered it. Thank you.
Amazing.
Hi, Stefano. It's Gail in Connecticut.
Yeah, and also like I'm getting, the thing is that I need to be honest about like this, even also this film, because I'm getting two different complete world in a way, which is people that are really into the sort of topics, and they really believe into a change, and they connect with this film. And then there are people that completely don't. But unfortunately, like the market, like this film goes almost against the market. So it's not easy to make a film like this one here. So if I would do it differently. I would make something different to make it a little bit more, I don't want to say commercial, but in a way, yes, because like maybe in the future I need to be smarter to use the film techniques, but bringing all these topics together. So like finding ways to still bring up these topics and making it a little bit more engaging so like it can reach a larger audience and maybe. But I'm really happy, like I'm really happy with how this movie came so far, and then you know these moments are beautiful. Watching even them talking to each other is like beautiful. So.
Ok, traducción. Entonces, Estefan está diciendo que no está fácil hacer este tipo de documental porque va un poco contra el estilo comercial que funciona más ahora. Entonces, está pensando que se va a hacer una otra película, la va a hacer un poquito más, o sea, para el público más grande, ¿no? O sea, con algunas cosas que se podrían cambiar para que se pueda... sí, para que pueda ser accesible para más gente, ¿no? Y Stefano, also, I have this question, like, can you say some examples of like these differences that there are between like this documentary and like the mainstream movies?
So, okay, there were topics like that. They were very interesting. Also, like while we filmed that, I could have filmed, but I didn't because I didn't want to push it too much for respect of, which is good, really good, for some people. And then would have been a little bit hard to film. For example, I don't know if I can say it, Efrain, but I will, and Gail as well. But you can translate, Efrain. But basically, the incredible thing is that Efrain and Gail are doing all of this, and they cannot go sell their honey into the like there is full of hotels from in Tulum, in Cancun, where all these American rich people come over, and they could easily sell their honey for like a lot of money and make a living, but they can't because they don't, like they are Mayan, they are locals, and they don't let them going inside these hotels. So a topic like this, for example, that would be more commercial, would push the boundaries, but at the same time it kind of like uncover a truth, like because like they're from that land, they deserve more than anybody else to get into those places. And so, for example, this one for me would be a topic that could have been developed better, and to put a little bit of mystery, a little bit of risk in a way, but still keeping the topic important. Maybe is this a good example?
Thank you, Stefano. Yeah, sí, entonces traducción es que, pues un ejemplo es que, por ejemplo, la historia de Gael e Efraín, ellos tienen el miel que podrían vender en los hoteles que hay en la región donde viven ellos, que son hoteles donde la gente paga mucho dinero para ir allí, sobre todo de extranjeros, y entonces podrían comprar el miel por un precio más alto, pero por el hecho que ellos son de ahí, que son indígenas, no son bien vistos al interno de estos hoteles. Entonces, este tipo de tema es un tema que atrae más también a la gente, podría ser interesante, ¿no? Ponerlo en una película futura.
If I may add to this, actually, because it definitely touches these topics in the film that we were exposed to, that we definitely didn't speak about, and I think Stefano is also referring to the, for example, social injustice, right? Whether it was in Mexico, as he explained, that well, as we travel down the whole region there, the whole coastal region is called the Riviera Maya, right? While the entire coastal line has been privatized by resorts. So for 99% of the Mayan population that lives inland, because it's too expensive to live in these cities now, cities that also have developed in 40 years, right? From small little towns. If you ask Efrain when he was a kid, there were only dirt roads. Now it's, 400,000 people living there. The entire coast is privatized, so 90% of the population is actually the local Mayan population is not able to be on the beach. Most people have never swum because it's privatized and they cannot afford to be there, right? So there's all these social injustices and very difficult situations, or even historically seeing that the Yucatan Peninsula had a civil war with the Spanish occupiers, and were actually able to receive some form of independence, right, and receive their lands back. But then an modern economic system found new ways of finding oppression, right? So there's a lot of these difficult topics that are really interesting to explore, but you need an entire film for. The same in the Brazilian communities, where the Kalunga are a Quilombo, a community of African slaves that escaped, right? As there were millions of them that escaped, or hundreds of thousands escaped in the past. And also what happened to that and the political situation under the socialist governments in Brazil, that they got more support. But now under, let's say, the governments of Bolsonaro, the more extreme right governments, the whole Cerrado and the whole region that you saw there on the film, a lot of that is already in danger of being destroyed again. And most of these, it's worsened a lot. So there's a lot of these topics that are hard to really touch and do them honor in the film, and that's why we kind of skimmed over them for the other stories. But that would be definitely something to show light on more, or bring into discussion in another form. Yeah, so just to add.
That's great. Thank you so much. I think we are coming towards a conclusion of the evening, of this opening of Terra Madre and the screening of Heartwood. And before we move on, I think it's super important to stress that the work that has been done here is amazingly valuable to actually see the realities of different communities across the world. And like I mentioned before the movie, I truly think that is the power of what Terra Madre is. Tonight's event was free. It's still free. And we do, however, think that it would be great if we can support the communities that we saw with maybe your ticket that you would normally pay for the cinema. And that is because they can use the support in order to build, for example, clean water systems, or to purchase tools in order to keep bees in a sufficient way, or even have like headlamps on there, or torches for the head, so they don't have to walk around with firing sticks in order to see in the forest. So I'm going to share a link to a fundraiser, a GoFundMe, and it would mean the will to us, to everyone who has been here organizing the world, if we can all chip in maybe a little bit in order to make their dreams more reality, and also support them in this way. I will post that in the chat right now. Next to that, I would like to do one more round. I would like to ask Jael and Efrain, Rita, Sava, and Stefano, and Ago, if you want as well, to give one more small message to to the crowd, to a take-home message? What do you want us to go to bed with later, or if the night or if the day is still young, where I see plenty of people with actual daylight in their videos? Yeah, is there something that you would like to share with us? Maybe I can first. Sí.
Traduco lo que dijiste ahora. Entonces, pues lo que dijo Jorrit es que pues esa es una manera súper linda para empezar el Terramada, entonces estamos todos súper felices, ¿no? Por eso. Y hemos visto la película gratis esta noche, gracias a Stefano y a los otros chicos que nos las han donado, ¿no? Para mostrarla a ustedes. Pero si quieren como ofrecer un ticket virtual, hemos creado una plataforma para colectar fondos para las comunidades de la película. Entonces, si quieren, podrían donar su billete, su ticket ahí, y en lugar que pagar, ¿no?, por el documental, vamos a dar este dinero a las comunidades que la pueden utilizar, por ejemplo, para sistemas de irrigación para las abejas, o también para antorchas para ir en la foresta, en el bosque, ¿no?, por ejemplo. Y entonces podría ser útil. Y Jorrit puso el link del crowdfunding ahí. Entonces, si quieren hacer una pequeña donación, pueden hacerla ahí. Y ahora vamos a hacer un último giro de preguntas, de un mensaje, ¿no?, de cada uno que quieren compartir antes de saludarnos.
Can we start with Stefano?
No.
I'm so sorry.
I was like, please not here. Okay.
But you unmuted yourself first. So.
No, because I was going to say Agostino. Like I just unmuted to say, go for Agostino. Actually, I passed the word to Agostino. Do you want to start, Ago?
Okay. I think that, these stories and people like Efrain, Gael, and Rita are all around us, wherever we are around the world. So just let's open our eyes and let's try to meet these amazing people. And I believe that we can learn a lot from all of them. So yeah, this is what I feel like sharing tonight. And good luck in your research.
Who would you like to give the word next?
To Stefano.
Okay, so, well, I was reflecting on something, which is, like what they taught me, which is Rita, Efrain, and Gael, and also the Kalunga, is it's really at the end perseverance. Is this word that is keep coming back, because changing the world, we can't do it just ourselves. But like by choosing something to believe, like picking something small that we can do every day, that can be something very stupid, but can be very meaningful at the same time, and believe in it. Just do it all the time, every day. Even like people that look at you maybe at the beginning, they're like they're gonna be at the end like, oh, he really believes in it, right? So people around you will be changing, and you inspire other people to do it. So and what I'm seeing with this film is like something. This is inspiring other people that I will never meet, and maybe you will do the same. Maybe by talking about something that you believe in, you will inspire someone that like the butterfly chain. So yeah, believe in it, perseverance.
Beautiful words. Who do you give the word next?
But shall we translate a little bit, or what?
Estoy escribiendo la traducción en el chat.
Perfecto. Bueno, ahora quiero a Efraín y Gael
Sí.
Yo lo que les puedo decir es que ya vieron lo de las abejas y de mi parte pues ya no puedo ir para atrás, sino que mantenerme en camino y avanzar siempre con ellas, con las abejas que nos acompañan.
Yes, basically sometimes when we are there rescuing bees and yeah, you feel a bit alone, you feel a bit like, do I'm doing the right thing, that I'm choosing the right path, no, of the life that I want. You see like these huge hotels next to the jungle that you're taking care of and the bees that you're taking care of, and so many humans and architects and so much structure, building something huge that they think is the right way, and sometimes you feel alone doing all the opposite, like taking care of nature and diversity, and it's so emotional and nice to have you all here watching, supporting, promoting. Like it's really, well, we don't feel alone, we don't feel, we feel in a big group, in a big company. That's the core of Terra Madre. Is this inspiration that we feel is recharging every 2 years, that we're in the right way, and we are not we're not alone. Thank you for watching and for being with us.
Those are some extremely powerful words. Thank you so much. Who do you want to give the floor? Rita and Saba are left.
Rita o Saba, ¿quién quieres escuchar? Bueno, Rita.
I'm not sure if Rita got the final tasks or the final question.
Saba, you're the last. Get prepared, Saba. You're important.
Rita, ¿quieres compartir una última cosa antes de terminar la reunión?
Sí. Quiero compartir de que he aprendido a descubrirme como ser individual, partiendo de hacer pequeñas cosas que ha ido transformando cada uno de los conceptos errados que teníamos o prácticas que veníamos haciendo. Entonces, con este documental he aprendido tantas cosas que hoy vivimos prácticamente como el baluarte del frijol guajiro, que nos ha sustentado miles de años a nuestros ancestros. Y hoy en día verlo florecer, ver sus frutos en medio de la sequía, porque aprendimos con el documental, con Tierra Madre, de que tenemos que ser parte de la solución, pese a que son acciones individuales, pueden generar grandes acciones en lo colectivo. Entonces eso es lo que he aprendido de este documental, de este encuentro con los jóvenes, con ver las experiencias en Brasil, en México. Cada uno de esos nos enseña a valorar esas acciones pequeñas que nos ayuda a transformar. Y entonces eso es lo que quiero de pronto agradecerle a Stefan, a Agustino, a Sabas, a Daniel y a Lucas, que nos enseñaron y nos abrieron los ojos prácticamente. Y empezamos a revalorar lo que pensábamos que teníamos que esperar con las manos abiertas. Entonces lo que nos enseñaron fue a que tenemos que colocar nuestras manos en la tierra y a recuperar esas tierras erosionadas que hoy en día son fértiles. ¿Pero a qué se debió? Al hacer. Y al hacer te transforma como ser. Entonces eso es lo que me ha ayudado de pronto, y quiero agradecerles a cada uno de ustedes la experiencia que vivimos allá en el encuentro en Italia, de tantos jóvenes, y eso ayuda. Entonces, en verdad le agradezco, porque todos estos conocimientos se está viendo en todo el mundo. Entonces es algo que para mí no tiene valor. Entonces, para mí, me compromete más a llevar todo esto a estos niños que están acá hoy en día acá atrás. Entonces, hoy en día, la escuela Isashimana atiende a 1,000 587 estudiantes. Solamente en la comunidad de Isashimana se están atendiendo 1047. Y empezamos con 70 niños. Y eso me llena de que tenemos que seguir adelante a trabajar. Sobre todo cambiar esas estrategias o prácticas que llevábamos, que nos hacía daño y que destruía a nuestra madre tierra, que tenemos que replantear para cuidarla y valorarla, para que sigamos manteniéndonos con esto. Entonces estoy muy emocionada. Muchísimas gracias, de verdad. Te los agradezco.
Gracias, Rita. Qué bonitas palabras. Okay, so quick translation for the amazing words that Rita said. I'm sorry if like with the translation we lose something, but it was very, very emotional, very nice how she said it. So she said that with this journey, with this documentary, she learned to understand herself as a being from the things that she does and the things that they have. So they learn how important the things that they already have are. For example, the procedure of the bean that they have, and that they learned also how to valorize it with the Terra Madre network. And yeah, so she says thank you for opening their eyes to understand that they already had this treasure with them. And she said also like that she learned that they don't have to wait with open hands, but they have to put the hands in the earth, in the ground, and really like cultivate and valorize like what they have. And I think this image is so beautiful. I don't know what you think, guys, but I think it's poetic. And then also like she sees that there are a lot of young people here watching, and she says that it's amazing because we are all over the world, and also like their traditional knowledge can be spread all over with the documentary and also with the network, and this is great. And she especially thinks that youth, young people are very important, no, for transmitting this knowledge, and especially like in the school that they have now, they have 1,587 students, and these are the future of our world. So it's very important to transmit this knowledge to them and to appreciate really the things that they have. And she is saying thank you to everyone. But thanks to you, I would say.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for translating that so beautifully, Valentina. And gracias, Rita, por las lindas palabras y todos. I think she already said everything. And in a way that it's very, very moving and touching to hear how we brought inspiration to them in some form. And I think it was a mutual and an enormous transformational experience for us as well. And I think that the gift that I'd love to give with this film to other young people, if we really say like, hey, this is Slowford Youth Network, we're speaking to young people that are wanting to take some responsibility in this world and be the change that they wish to see. I think it is this element of we're living in such a fast world right now, such a world where we're so overwhelmed by all the challenges. Every documentary, everything is about what's wrong, what's right in terms of polarization and climate change, and to actually slow down, because the most important thing is not like if we just stay in that speed, we get overwhelmed, we paralyze, and we are not able to act on that, or not able to connect really intimately with something to see a solution. And I think what this film and this experience for us did so beautifully, as Agostino said in the Mexican chapter, it put us back in a rhythm with nature. And I think we as young people, we're really eager to want to make a change. And we really sometimes like sort of overestimate what we can do in a week or in a month or in a year. And it's like really intense, but we really underestimate what we can do in a few years or in 10 years. Like this film took for us 4 years. I don't think anybody of us would have imagined that it went as it went. And it really snowballed from something we initially thought was a few weeks in these communities to a big film like this. And I really, would love to give that to more young people to think about every community has its problems. And if you connect and if you slow down a little bit and are willing to see what's out there, what is something unique that I can do? Maybe it's not making a film, maybe it's doing something different. But finding people around a problem and starting to share a story or a mission or something that you want to share, it's the only way to connect. And by connecting, we all move forward and grow. And yeah, I'm really, really grateful for that. And the story of Rita starting in her kitchen to 1,500 children now, and it was 700 when we were there. It just blows my mind what's possible in the middle of a humanitarian crisis, in the middle of a desert. And with that, I think about what's possible in our world and in our communities if we really come together. So yeah, that's my final word. And thank you guys for organizing this.
Thank you so much. I think that really captures the whole momentum and the whole feeling that I think everyone here in this room, but also all the people that have watched the movie tonight with us, really share that same thought. So thank you everyone for sharing this. We've come to the end of this Q&A. It took us a little bit longer than expected, but I think that's only a positive thing, because apparently we cannot stop talking. We cannot keep discovering. We cannot just stop doing what we do right now. And I think that that's something super beautiful, and again, something that represents what Terra Madre is and what it's going to be for the coming 6 months. For tonight, I would really like to thank our special guest, Efraín, Gael, Rita, but also the filmmakers, Stefano, Agostino, and Sava for doing this. We can all give them a huge round of applause virtually, and I'm super, super proud of what you guys have been doing. Stefano told me that in 2016 you guys met in Parco Valentino during the Terra Madre event. In 2018 you had a small conference in the SFYN booth explaining where you were at that moment. And now in 2020, 4 years later, we have shown the movie to the world, and you've seen people from New Zealand to the USA, Europe, Latin America, everywhere people were watching, and everywhere people were emotional, everywhere people were touched by the story that's being told. And from that, me and Valentina are truly honored that we could show this movie as the opening ceremony of what Terra Madre is. And normally these kinds of opening ceremonies are super energetic, and we're on a stage and we show the world what we've got. But I think this one was truly special, and I think I speak on behalf of everyone over here and everyone who've seen the movie, that this energy isn't necessarily something physical, because tonight we felt it. Tonight everyone was touched by the story that we've seen, and I think that that's something super powerful. And I would really like to thank you for that. With that, I would also like to close down this session. And for the people who are...
I would like to thank Valentina and Jorit to have done such an amazing job. And thank you so much. You put all of this together, and I know you have lots of plans after. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're more than welcome. I think it shows that we are all the network that Slow Food Youth Network is, and every one of us is putting in their effort. So we were more than happy to do this. And again, we feel very proud that we could show this movie to the rest of the world tonight. With that, let's close off. For the people who are about to go to sleep, it is 10 past 11 here in Italy, which is time to go to sleep. I had to stop my laundry machine in order to not have too much background noise, so I still have to wait a little longer before I can go. But let's go to bed tonight, or spend the rest of the day celebrating Terra Madre, looking forward to what we want to achieve in the coming 6 months. And with that, I would just like to say one big thank you, and see you all soon. And don't forget about the fundraiser that I put in the description. It will also be in the Facebook. It will be basically everywhere on all our social media. And if you can miss something, please share it with the communities that we've seen. Good night.
En español, un poquito
sí.
para... porque no me dio tiempo de escribir todo. Y bueno, esta conversación es súper bonita, entonces es difícil pararse así, pero bueno, hay que ir a dormir, entonces hay que saludarse. Pero pues yo ahorita estaba recordando que en 2018, de hecho, Agostino y Gael hicieron una presentación del documental en Terra Madre, en el stand de SFYN, y ahí todavía no sabíamos, ¿no?, cómo iban a desarrollarse las cosas, y ahora el documental es como la ceremonia para abrir Terra Madre, entonces es súper bonito, ¿no?, ver este camino que hicimos juntos. Y yo ahorita estaba diciendo también que esta noche hemos sentido una energía súper fuerte. Bueno, estamos en distancia, ¿no? Pero todos juntos hemos mirado este documental súper lindo y nos hemos conectado. Y bueno, hemos sentido esta energía súper linda, ¿no? Y queremos que esta energía se quede durante los próximos meses de Terra Madre también. Y bueno, muchísimas gracias, ¿no?, por todos, por nuestros hóspedes especiales que están aquí, Efraín, Gael, Rita y todos los chicos que se ven ahí de la escuela. Y gracias a Stefano, Saba, Agostino, que nos dieron la posibilidad también de proyectar el documental, y gracias a todos ustedes que están participando ahora. Y también ahí está el link si quieren hacer una donación para las comunidades, y lo vamos a compartir también en los próximos días. Y bueno, muchísimas gracias y que les vaya muy bien y buenas noches a todos y buen Terra Madre.
Happy Terra Madre, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Last thing, I think one really special group of guests we didn't thank yet, and it was all the little kids in the back.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe they can put up. Tal vez, Rita, puedes colocar el micrófono para que todos los niños dicen chao y decimos chao a los niños.
Maybe everyone can unmute himself and cheer for them via the Zoom call.
Chao.
Saludos.
Gracias.
Adiós, adiós.
Adiós.